A split is looming in Jubilee Party following revelations that two political parties associated with Deputy President William Ruto were recently issued with registration certificates. Jubilee leaders, including William Ruto and National Assembly Majority Leader Eden Duale, are on record refuting claims that there are cracks in Jubilee. Nonetheless, calls for lifestyle audit have caused a strain among Jubilee members, with those allied to DP William Ruto saying the audit is ill-advised for political expediency. According to the Jubilee Memorandum of Understanding, no political party in the accord can use its symbol or slogan before 2022. Good morning. I hope your day is going well so far. Welcome to KTN News Center. We have a lot in store for you. I am Ashley Mazuri. Let's get straight to it. The 47 Cuban doctors in the country is set to be officially deployed to their respective posts beginning today. East African Community Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya is calling for the establishment of a central authority to oversee fishing on Lake Victoria as a way of minimizing conflict. And Nigeria's hopes of proceeding to the round of 16 in the World Cup dashed after being bundled out of the tournament. Now, East African Community Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya is calling for the establishment of a central authority comprising of officials from Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania to oversee the fishing in Lake as a way of ending the conflict. According to Munya, the conflict arising from harassment of Kenyan fishermen by Ugandan authorities on Lake Victoria, which is a shared natural resource, is a challenge to the realization of regional integration of the East African community states.
Wavuvi hupata shinda, na hiyo shinda tumesema tunatatua, na ile itatutatulia hiyo shinda saini ni wakati tutaweza kushikana Lake Victoria iwe inasimamiwa na taasisi moja. Na kwa sasa, kwa sababu tunatazama ile tutatengeneza katiba mpya, we are reviewing the treaty to see how to put some of the common resources under one management. Sasa wakati haitajalika wewe umetoka pande gani, wakati unaenda kufanya uvuvi, ile itahitajika tini mpangilio ya vile ushuru ambao unahitajika utaweza kulipwa ni kwa njia gani. Kwa hivyo usimamizi wa pamoja au mashauri ya kusimamia Ziwa Victoria pamoja, ndio tunaona hiyo ndio lengo ambalo itaweza, hiyo mpango ambao utaweza kututatulia shinda sa yule nani yako pande gani, wakati unafanya fishing huko Uganda ama huko Tanzania. Wakati hiyo mpango itafanywa haitakuwa to not be an issue whether you are fishing in Kenya or you are fishing in Tanzania, because usimamishi you are fishing in Uganda, because usimamishi wa ziwa utakuwa pamoja.
Let's cross over now to Kisumu, where Kevin Ogutu is on standby to talk to some fishermen. Kevin, good morning. What are the fishermen saying in regards to the establishment of the central authority? Kevin, if you can hear me, what are some thoughts from the fishermen in regards to the central authority that is being established? All right, we will be going back to Kisumu there to just talk to some fishermen. But moving on, ODM party leadership has dismissed reports that the party has been forcefully evicted from their current premises in Kilimani area by the landlord, who happens to be the former chief of staff in the office of the Prime Minister, Karoli Omondi. Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has said the party's lease expired and that the owner wants to further develop the property to suit the current status of Kilimani region. Here's our senior political reporter Chris Tyru's exclusive interview with Sifuna.
Well, a very good morning to you viewers. We are privileged this morning to have the Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement Party. Of course, it is one of the largest parties in the opposition as it stands due to its numerical strength in both the Senate and the National Assembly, and that is Edwin Sifuna. And of course, Bona SG, there are several issues that have come up, of course, of national interest. And we'll start with the party matters. And there are reports that your landlord has kicked you out from your headquarters, that is at Yaya Center. Maybe you can clarify on that.
Okay, first it is at Orange House, and we have not been kicked out, because if you were kicked out, you would still not be in the premises. What has happened is that we have had a long-standing lease at Orange House running from, I think, the time when the party was formed. And at this particular point in time, in May, the landlord, who has been a wonderful landlord all this time, and I am sure he can also confirm that we have been good tenants paying rent on time, has given us notice that he would like to redevelop the space in line with the trends in this area. As you can see, it is a prime commercial area, and people are putting up all sorts of buildings, residential and commercial. So we agreed that by the end of this year, that is 31st of December, the lease that is terminating now will not be renewed. So it is not that we are being kicked out, as has been reported.
But there are reports that when it comes to the political hand between the landlord, who is Karoli Omondi, and your party leader, is there claims that your party leader, Raila Odinga, threw him under the bus, so to speak, during the last year's nomination exercise and during the Homa Bay senatorial by-elections?
I don't want to go into that, but that cannot be what has, motivated this particular decision, because I doubt that Karoli Omondi has what they call a delayed reaction. You cannot be reacting to things that happened in 2015 today. As I told you, and as a lawyer, I know that leases are usually time-bound and they expire, and that at the expiry point, it is a matter that is discussed between the landlord and the tenant on whether the lease will be renewed. So since he has expressed an intention to develop that property, and it is, as I said, in keeping with the trend in the Kilimani area, that people are putting up, high-storied buildings for residential and commercial purposes. We don't want to insist on being there, especially to the detriment of a landlord if he wants to develop the property. He has been a very good landlord. 13 years in a premises without any dispute is not something that should be taken lightly. And we thank him for having availed us that space, although it is not a favor, because ODM has been paying rent, and we continue to pay rent until the last day that we will vacate the place.
You've located any place now that you'll be calling headquarters or home, Orange?
Of course, immediately we received the letter, we embarked on a process of looking for alternative premises. We have received about 3 or 5. As of yesterday, we had about 3 or 5 proposed, premises that we can look at, because we have a period of about 6 months to be able to complete that process. So we believe that between now and December, we should have found a premises. And one of the reasons why we are really keen on pushing Parliament to allocate the party money that is due to it under the political parties fund is that we as a party should be able to now, if we get what is due to us under the Political Parties Act, even us consider getting a place where we can actually construct premises or the party headquarters that can rival parties that of the size and the stature of ODM like the ANC in South Africa.
Maybe changing gears to matters of the lifestyle audit that was proposed by President Uhuru Kenyatta. We've seen your party leader has come out to support it. But on the other hand, critics also question how your party leader has also gotten his wealth.
I mean, and that is it's okay to question. That is the reason why Raila Odinga himself has said that he is ready and willing, and invites, in fact, the lifestyle audit on himself, because this is not about any particular individual. We need to cascade it to all the leadership, and I like that President Uhuru Kenyatta said that it will start with him, so that it cascades to all the leaders, because we know that there are people who have been using public office to enrich themselves, so that those who are protesting the loudest about this process are in fact not the targets of the audit itself. If the president has said, I am ready for it, and Deputy President William Ruto has said, I'm ready for it, Raila Odinga has said, I'm ready for it, then all the other leaders should follow that example.
So your party leader is clean?
Very ready to face the audit. I don't know whether he's clean or not. That is a matter for the audit to bring out. So we should not preempt the audit process. We should say all of us should be able to account for the wealth that we have made, given the resources at our disposal.
My final question will be, you had issues with the appropriations bill in Parliament. Maybe you can tell us more on this?
Yes, as I told you, Parliament is supposed to allocate 0.3% of the national revenue to the political parties fund. Previously, they have not been doing that. The monies that are supposed to be coming to political parties has not been coming in the manner in which is prescribed under the Political Parties Act. So ODM did file a case in 2016, and we did get a High Court order that in this particular financial year, the Parliament must allocate that 0.3% of the revenue for political parties. But when we saw the published estimates, they still have not used that or complied with that particular requirement of the Political Parties Act, which is why we are saying that because the appropriations bill is going before the House this morning, this afternoon, and we are aware that the Speaker had already made a ruling requiring the Budget Committee to actually comply with the provisions of the law. We want that appropriations bill not to be rushed through the process of the first, second, and third reading without incorporating the changes that would reflect the position of the law.
Okay. Yes. Thanks a lot, Bonesji, and wish you all the best.
Asante.
Well, dear viewers, that has been the Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement Party, of course, telling us some of the national issues that the party has taken a stand, especially in regards to the Orange House, which they have been housed there by Karoli Omondi for the last 13 years. Well, it's back to you, studio.
All right, many thanks, Chris Nairu, for that. Away from matters politics, East African Community Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya is calling for the establishment of a central authority comprising of officials from Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania to oversee the fishing in the Lake Victoria as a way of ending the conflict. According to Munya, the conflict arising from harassment of Kenyan fishermen by Ugandan authorities on Lake Victoria, which is a shared natural resource, is a challenge to the realization of regional integration of the East African community states. Shortly, we'll be speaking to also Tobias Chanji, who will be joining us from Wasini Island, and of course, Kevin Ogutu from Kisumu. We just want to start with Kevin Ogutu. Kevin, good morning. How are the fishermen reacting to the establishment of this central authority?
A very good morning, Ashley. Actually, the proposal by the East African Community Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Peter Munya, will actually be quite a sigh of relief here, should it be actualized. Remember, we are coming from a history where the fishermen from the Kenyan side of Lake Victoria have faced constant harassment from the Ugandan and at some point Tanzanian authorities over what they claim are crossing the border, the fishing boundary to the Ugandan side of Lake Victoria, this being a shared resource. So actually, it's quite a grim picture what has been witnessed on Lake Victoria. It was only just a fortnight ago that it actually went to the highest, this particular harassment, where we saw 4 Kenyan security officials, the police officers, being arrested by the Ugandan authorities. These security officers were actually accompanying the fishermen into the lake, given the harassment that they had initially experienced when they go out on their own to fish. So we have conflicting stories here. Ugandan authorities claiming they get into their lands, into their Ugandan side of the waters, and the Kenyan fishermen say they actually arrest them on the Kenyan side of the lake. And so this particular proposal by Peter Munya, where we will have a central authority, will clearly be a welcome move, given that Kenyans have been paying dearly for this arrest by the Ugandan authorities. Just one boat that has been captured by the Ugandan authorities attracts a fine of at least 30,000 Kenya shillings. So actually, given that background, this is clearly a welcome move. So actually, very quickly, so to get it from the horse's mouth, I will introduce right now I'm at the Dunga beach, so I'll be introducing Mr. Maurice Minyosi, who is the vice chairperson of this beach management unit, to probably tell us what their position is as the quite a big stakeholders in the fishing industry. Welcome to KTN News. What do you think of this move by East African Community Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Peter Munya?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ogutu. And as Dunga Vice Chairman, I really support the motion of the Minister of East Africa. As the great fisherman of Lake Victoria, we really support the proposal of Mr. Munya.
Probably tell Kenyans from your own perspective, because you are the one who is putting on the shoe. You probably know how was it pinches. How has it been interacting with the Ghana authorities on the lake?
It has been very quite difficult for us, like fishermen at the Lake Victoria region, because we have got different quite challenges from the Uganda boundaries, especially, as you know, Mr. Gutu, fishermen are like the farmers. They do move to get to search for their fishing. So sometimes you get people from Dunga Beach, they move to Migingo Island, where they get it so difficult for us to pass the boundaries. So as the beach chairman of Dunga, we really support the proposal of the Minister of East Africa. So what we are really begging that the proposal to go through, so that we can have the conducive environment.
Probably tell us about the arrests. Have some of your fishermen been arrested by the Ghana authorities in the course of their duties?
Yes, most of us have been arrested, especially from the Kenyan side, and especially when you get arrested by the Ugandan government. It comes very quite challenging, because the bond or the fine they put for the Kenya people is a bit high compared to the Kenya government. What I can say that most of the Ugandan people also, they come here and they sell the charcoals, and us, we don't do the way they did for us. So it can be a big conflict to us when it put on the table. So we really thank the Minister, Mr. Munya, if the proposal can be approved by the 3 East Africa countries. Mr. Gutu, just allow me to enlighten the common natural resource we share in these 3 counties is the lake. And when you look in the term of the percentage, Kenya is the lowest percentage in terms of percentage. So the Uganda and Tanzania has a big percentage. So what I can say that when God really see us as the people of Kenya, we can be really proud of the proposal.
And then lastly, before I let you go, do you have any other proposal, any other idea that you can put forward in a bit to, or you think this will be a one-off solution to this problem?
According to me, Mr. Gutu, this one is the best solution for us as East Africa County, because when the 3 counties can sit down and harmonize this proposal, it can be the best one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, that was Mr. Maurice Minyosi, who is the Vice Chairperson of Dunga Beach Management Unit. And as he has put it, this will solve this particular crisis that keeps coming up once and for all. That is from his own words. Back to you in studio, Ashley.
All right, many thanks, Kevin Ogutu. Of course, Kevin there, Ogutu, reporting from Dunga Beach in Kisumu, giving us some insights on what the fishermen are thinking on the issue of the central authority. But now to Coastal region, where Tobias Chanji is on standby at Wasini Island, where residents of Shimoni continue to face a myriad of challenges, including water shortage, despite being surrounded by a large water body. Tobias, good morning. What other challenges seem to be faced by these residents?
Well, good morning, Ashley. Actually, I'm at Shimoni. Behind me is just Wasini and Migingo Island, where the villagers have been facing those myriad of challenges. To just give you a brief history about Shimoni is that Shimoni is the oldest town in Kwale County, and it used to be a collection center for slaves. Also, Shimoni Center was the first headquarters of the Kwale County. During those days, it was called Kwale District. There are so many challenges, including fishing, and I'm hereby joined by some of the old fishermen at Shimoni who are going to tell us more on that sector. Karibu katika KTN na tueleze labda changamoto zipi ambazo mnapatana nazo. Tueleze majina yako.
Kwa majina naitwa Rashadi Kahamisi. Mimi nilizaliwa 1950 mpaka sasa. Hapa ni kwa Shimoni, maeneo ambayo tulikuwa nao sana wakati wa miaka kama 70 iliyopita. Ilikuwa maeneo bora sana kwa sababu sehemu kama hii kulikuwa kuna madisiwa kwa hapa na kuna majumba ya zamani yako mpaka sasa, na pia sehemu hii zamani kulikuwa kuna watumwa pia wako hapa, walikuwa wakipelekwa Zanzibar kwa kufanya biashara tofauti. Kipindi cha miaka hiyo tumeishi mpaka sasa, tumekaa na mambo tofauti. Ilikuwa samaki ni wengi sana, kulikuwa kuna kampuni nyingine inaitwa cold storage, kuna samaki industry, vitu kama hivyo ndio walikuwa wote samaki wakiwachukua pamoja wanapelekwa sehemu kama hizo. Zamani hapa kwetu tulikuwa kuna monopoly, samaki wote wanakusanya katika soko letu, kisha samaki anapelekwa cold storage na samaki wengine anapelekwa katika samaki industry. Biashara ya samaki ilikuwa imenoga sana kipindi cha miaka hiyo, lakini kulinganisha na wakati uliopita kama sasa, unakuta kampuni kama hizo zimekufa. Umekuta ilikuwa tuko na mashine za barafu pia zilikufa. Baadaye badala kuondoka ndio tukajiunga na mambo ya cooperative. Cooperative pia imeendelea hapa Shimoni, ilikuwa na viongozi tofauti, wazee walikuwa wanashirikiana. Pia nilikuwa nasikia walikuwa wanapata dividend kuhusu habari ya hiyo mambo ya cooperative, lakini baadaye cooperative ile collapse. Imeendelea miaka hiyo mpaka shalafu baadaye kaingia mambo mengine ikaitwa BMC, ambapo BMC ilikuwa ni Beach Management Committee, ilikuwa ni wenyeji wanafanya mambo kama hayo. Baadaye ndio kaingilia BMU. Sasa BMU ndio ambayo inashikilia sehemu kama hii. Mimi nikiwa kama secretary kwa kipindi cha miaka 10, tumekuwa hapa sana na habari ya uvuvi na kuangalia sehemu ya mambo ya uvuvi. Lakini unakuta kila siku tukiendelea kuna teknolojia mpya zinakuja, ndio zinasababisha pia wavuvi wa sehemu hii wawe na changamoto ambazo tunazokumba kama sasa. Unakuta wavuvi wa zamani walikuwa wanatumia malema na walikuwa wanatumia mishipi na vitu kama hivyo, lakini kwa sasa vijana wamekuwa wengi wanakuwa wanatumia spear gun, wengine wanatumia bunduki, wengine wanatumia vifaa ambavyo ni haramu katika idara husika.
Labda limechangia vipi kutumia vifaa haramu?
Vifaa haramu vimechangia kwa sababu watu wamekuwa wengi. Nisile kwa mfano samaki kwa sasa wanakuwa kwa maji mengi sana, wanakuta akienda kama sehemu za reef na hawana yale malema, hawana kitu gani, ndio nakuta mtu anachukua spear gun ndio anapiga hao samaki, na macho ni kinyume na sheria na idara husika. Na pia uvuvi kama huo hauruhusiwi kwa sababu samaki ukimpiga na mdete, samaki yule anatoka damu sharafu anakimbia. Sasa samaki wengi sasa wamekimbia. Sehemu kama hii inaleta matatizo sana. Tunajaribu pia sisi kuwaelimisha. Tumeita mikutano tofauti ili watu wasitumie zana kama hizo. Lakini nachangia sasa, unakuta watu wamekuwa wengi na vijana ni wengi. Unakuta mtu ukimzuia kazi kama wasifanye, unakuta anashindwa kulipa school fees na watoto wake. Sasa pia tunajaribu pia serikali zetu za county wanajaribu pia kutupatia madau makubwa. Lakini sasa wale vijana wetu hawakuzoea kazi kama hiyo, ndio inazosababisha pia uvuvi na kuwa. Lakini hata hivyo pia kuna idara fulani zimeanza kuja kushughulikia hili zoezi la midete lisiweko.
Now, I'm also joined here by another old man who's also going to just give us a brief of what are the challenges that they go through. Tueleze majina yako.
Mimi naitwa Fadhili Al-Abdalla, ni mzaliwa wa Mkwiro kule, na pia nina jiko Kushimoni, nina nyumba 2. Kwa vijana nilikuwa kule Mkwiro. Kama hamkuniona, lakini leo niko hapa Shimoni, nitakuwa hapa mpaka jioni. Mimi ni mvuvi asilia na uvuvi wangu ni wa madema na mishipi. Nataka kuweka wazi alilozungumza mwenzangu, uvuvi ulioharibu hasa ni uvuvu wa spear gun, kwa sababu ukiangalia hapo nyuma yenu tuna hii mitego tunaita uzio. Samaki ilikuwa tuwafungia hapo zamani za nyuma, mpaka walikuwa wakija hao samaki industry, wakija Kenya Marine kuja chukua samaki. Lakini ulipokuja uvuvu wa kupiga wa midete na wa kuzamia kwa chupa, samaki wanakimbia asilimia kubwa kwenda chini ya maji, na kule sisi hatuwapati tena, wamekimbia huko. Tumejaribu kuiuliza serikali kuzuiwa, kama mzungumzaji mwenzangu amesema, lakini ninavyojua mimi, sisi asulia hatukuvua spear gun, uko tuwavua madema na mishipi. Hawa wote waliokuja ni waenda kuja, sio wazaliwa hapa. Hao sio wanavua spear gun, wanavua watu waliokuja kutoka sehemu nyingi. Tuna wengi kutoka Tanzania, tuna wengi wanaokuja kutoka Kikambala.
Sababu kumekuwa pia na swala kuwa kuna wavuvi kutoka Tanzania, Wapemba wamekuwa nakuja wakivua hapa.
Wanakuja, uzuri wenyewe kule kwao, hata ukiangalia vyombo hivi vingine vingi vya Pemba hivi, hawa kule kwao wanapewa, hata ukiangalia ndani wana kingfish net, hii wanakwenda kuvua deep sea, zile wana haria, alafu ndio wanavua samaki sana. Sisi bado tuna zile local traps, zile vitumbu vidogo dogo. Lakini pia tumeuliza serikali, ndio nasikia mzungumzaji mwenzangu tulipomba account wametupa madau, lakini hawakutuambia tukaeleza vyombo ambavyo tuwavitaka sisi. Wametuletea madau ya ringnet. Si hatuvui ringnet. Ringnet tunajua imekatazwa kisheria, lakini wakituletea sardine, sisi hatukuvui sardine. Tumezoea kuvua samaki wa kawaida. Sasa tumesema watuletee boti za watu watatu kama zile pale nyuma yako ukiziangalia, kwa za kuvua mishipi. Hiyo wametuahidi wata-account hivi, budget yao wakiitengeza watatuletea, kwa sababu tushaeleza tukitaka tukuze uvuvi na sisi tuingie kule kwa wenzetu mpaka mtuletee maboti.
Well, actually, those are some of the sentiments of fishermen here at Shimoni. Yesterday we were at Wasini Island, Migingo Island, where other challenges also occurred. Like villagers there don't have fresh water, and they have to cross over from the island to the Shimoni mainland, buying a jerrycan of water at 50 shillings, and also transporting to the other side at 50 shillings. Back to you in studio.
All right, many thanks, Tobias Chanji, for that report and, of course, for those insights. We want to take a short break here on KTN News Center, but when we come back, we will be talking about the issues in Jubilee. What seems to be ailing Jubilee Party? And joining me in studio will be Nelson Koech, who is the Belgood Member of Parliament. He'll be giving us some of those issues and clarities. Don't go too far.